Good morning, everyone. How y'all doing? I'm just gonna wait for you guys to tune in. Good morning. Good morning. My hair looks crazy this morning. Um, how's everyone doing? Come on in. If this is your first time, comment in here. Let me know it's your first time. Sorry, guys. I'm under the weather today. I feel like this happens a few times a year, but we're here. Good morning, Angela. Good morning, V1011. Mommy Linda, good morning. Marine, good morning. Let me know where you're tuning in from. If this is your first time, welcome. Welcome. MK Latu, welcome. Um, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Aisha Chidowe. I'm an immigration attorney here in the United States. I represent clients all over the United States with their immigration matters. We handle humanitarian-based cases as well as family-based immigration cases. Good morning, Marcy, on Facebook and YouTube. Welcome in, and good morning to you as well. I'm Gaza. Good morning. So we do this live to answer as much questions as I can. So jump right in there with your questions. A favor says, good morning. My sister has a consultation with you today. Awesome. I look forward to speaking with her. SBM Empowerment, good morning. Nisha, good morning from Tennessee. I know there was someone that says it's their first time. Lovos, Jorge, welcome. Thank you for joining. Okay, what you guys want to know about? What would you guys like me to talk about today? I'm a U.S. citizen. I moved to Mexico. Well, I'm sure Mexico is nice right now and the weather is lovely, depending on where you are. MZ Tommy, I'm from the City of Angels. Good morning. How much is it to do citizenship? The answer really depends on your eligibility and if you have criminal histories. If you'd like to schedule a consultation, call us, and we're happy to go over all of that with you in a consult. Princess Johan, this is your first time. Welcome. Someone asked for my phone number. It's 407-995-6567, or you can also call 678-325-1037, or you can send a WhatsApp to 404-333. I literally forgot the WhatsApp phone number right now, but it's in my profile. And it also is, I'm going to be scrolling through the ticker. Okay, I remember it's 404-333-8751. What can I do if I lost my travel documents by USPS? When you say you lost your travel documents, what do you mean? Like from USCIS, like it was never mailed to you? If that's the case, then you can fill out another form and they should mail you one without a fee, since that's their own error. Because usually if USCIS has on their record that there was no delivery confirmation, then they will reissue you a new one. I applied for my EAD since March. It's still pending. Why is it taking that long? Because that's a normal timeline. It takes about 4 to 11 months for most EADs, depending on what category you're filing. I don't know what category you file, but that's the normal. Some people will get it, in 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, but really, USCIS is not going to respond to you if you're saying it's late until after that 11-month window, or published timeline for, whatever case type that you're filing for. So you are still, because that would have been, so you're still about 7 months in, in the process. So you're in the window for an approval, honestly. I want to file for my children who are in Africa. What can I do? Well, we need to know what your status is. Once we know what your status is, then we need to know how old your children are. Then we need to know their own marital status, and that will tell us whether or not you are eligible to file for them. Happy to have a consult with you to go over that eligibility. Someone says, I have a question about the new immigration parole fee. I've already been granted advance parole, but I got a new email about the new fees. Yeah, this is causing a lot of confusion for a lot of people. I don't know, Elijah, I don't know what kind of case that you have, but if it's an adjustment of status case, you are exempt under Exemption 7 from that. This was sent to everybody, basically, that applied for advance parole. or everybody that has advanced parole, like this email was sent. So it's caused a lot of confusion because, people were like, well, why are they sending this to me? Do I need to pay? Do I not need to pay? But, if you have an adjustment of status, you don't need to pay. But, that letter was sent out more for your information purposes, basically. I'm waiting for my interview for the 10-year green card, but me and my husband are living in different states because of work. Is that going to affect my case? Possibly. It's possible. I mean, you're writing because of work, but it's going to be up to USCIS to decide whether or not, like, it makes sense because of work, and also to determine whether or not truly you have a good marriage and you are living as a married couple. So I can't tell you, I don't have your file or know what's going on with your case, but they're going to take those things into consideration. So it's going to be really important that you have some strong evidence of good faith marriage, even though you guys are living in different places. You guys, I'm struggling today because I don't feel very well. My throat is burning. So if I end early, sorry about that, because I'm going to have a long day of talking today. Damien on YouTube says, I did my interview for my I-485 3 weeks ago, still no decision. Should I upload new joint bank accounts and evidence in my online account, even though USCIS, or just wait? Well, I can't tell you that because I don't know what your case is or what you filed. If it's a marriage-based case, USCIS usually has about 120 days to make a decision before you reach out. If USCIS didn't tell you anything was missing, then you need to just wait unless they told you that that was missing. So I would not just go and start uploading things unless you were asked to upload those things or because they said they would issue an RFE for those things. But 3 weeks is really not a long time post-interview. Ahmed YouTube says, submitted VAWA on 11/2022. I sent an EAD renewal on 2/2025. My EA category was CO9P, but I received a receipt notice category for C31. I tried contacting USCIS about that. When should I expect to receive my EAD? You definitely want to try and see if they will fix your receipt notice and provide that to you the correct status. That would be the first thing that I would say you should do, because otherwise with the C31, you're not going to get it until they approve your VAWA. Okay. All right, let's see what else here. Someone is asking, will there be a Christmas special? No, there's not going to be a Christmas special. We don't usually offer any in Christmas. So we just had the one for Thanksgiving, which we actually gave for longer than we typically do. So if you missed it, I'm sorry. Okay, someone says, I did my citizenship interview, represented me to remove conditions, did VAWA. I did the N400 interview in September and still haven't heard anything from USCIS. Without knowing what happened at your interview, I can't really tell you, but September for a naturalization interview, we are in November. It's a little long, I would say. Can you talk about VAWA if I'm still legally married? What exactly do you want me to talk about? I don't know what you want me to talk about in particular. Are you asking if you are eligible? If you're eligible for VAWA, if you're still married and your spouse is abusive? Yes, if your spouse is abusive, you can still file for VAWA, even if you're still married. Hello, good morning. I'm one of your clients. I have a question. Do I have to schedule a consultation to speak with you? Go ahead and put your question in your client portal, and we'll answer you from there. My mom got refusal for citizenship because she receives cash assistance. She doesn't have continuous presence. I suspect that the reason why she got denied is because of the continuous presence, not the cash assistance. Okay. How much do you charge for valid case evaluation? Our consultation fees are $150. We take clients in every single state in the United States. So whether you're in California, you're in North Carolina, Florida, wherever you are, we will do your consultation. It doesn't matter. How long do I have to wait for my kids to join me? Guys, I'm about to sneeze and it's not coming out. This is driving me crazy, guys. I am struggling to be on live today. I'm probably going to get off in like 5 minutes. I'm having actually a really tough day. I'm just trying to pull myself together. You can see like my eyes are even swollen. How long do I have to wait for my kids to join me? It's been over a year since I put in their green card. So it sounds like you're doing consular processing. I don't know what country you're from, but with consular processing, you're looking at about 2 years, depending on what country you're from. So if it's just been a year, yeah, you still have time. Okay. What immigration cases are being reviewed now by USCIS? All immigration cases. I don't understand what you mean by that question. Every case that's filed is being reviewed. They're not like separating any. All cases are being reviewed. Someone's asking, I have permanent residency in the US. My children are 12, 8, and 6 years old. Okay, so if you have a green card, you can file for your children that are outside of the United States if they're that age. You'd be an F2 A category. Make sure that when you did file for your green card that you did list those children, and you are in the children's birth certificate, because I can't tell from your name if you're male or female. If that's the case, you're going to have to apply for the petition for alien relative for them here. And then when they're approved, then you move over to consular processing. And I just said earlier, it's going to take you about 24 months for most people. I filed for adjustment of status for 3 years now, and my estimated time for the case decision for my I-485 has been constantly changing from 3 months to 8 months now. I would say that, at this point, you can probably try to do congressional assistance to see if you can get some assistance with it. Like, so if there's something that they need in particular from you. The cases that I find that are typically delayed for 3 years, there's usually a problem with the case. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know who you are personally, but I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that you have a previous immigration history, or maybe like, you came in here on a tourist visa and there's something listed on a tourist visa, or maybe you had a previous wife, or maybe there was maybe an initial interview or with your spouse. So there's usually something tied to that. 3 years is a long time. It's definitely a red flag, but I don't know your history to be able to say what it is. Esther says, why is valid processing taking so long? I filed September 2022 and I haven't heard nothing. What do you mean when you say you haven't heard nothing? You mean you haven't gotten a decision, or you've not heard anything at all? Meaning you don't have a receipt, you don't have a prima facie. Because otherwise, if I knew the answer, I will tell you, shoot, if I knew the answer, maybe, I'll become like super rich or something, because I get this question all the time. I don't make the decisions, so I can't tell you that. None of us lawyers make the decisions. We prepare your case for you, but it's USCIS who makes the decision. Valid cases just take a long time. They just take a long time. Just the same way that asylum cases take a long time. T visa cases take a long time. U visa cases take a long time. You got to understand, like humanitarian cases, these are very heavy packets. You're writing declarations, there are briefs that are being written, the evidence that you're submitting, not just for good faith, you're also submitting evidence to prove abuse, good moral character, police clearance, all of this stuff. It's not like a marriage-based case where you're basically submitting a form and they call you for an interview and you're just doing a bona fide. I can even tell you, like, even for those of us practitioners, it takes us a longer time to put together a valid application because there's just so many elements that you have to satisfy to get your client to the finish line, right? And you want to make sure you don't make a mistake because you got to incorporate everything. It has to all make sense. So I suspect that's why it takes them longer to review. But otherwise, I can't tell you. Maybe we can all call USCIS, and ask them, to make it move quicker. That would be nice. Okay. I'm gonna take like 3 more questions, and then I have to go. Is a 4-year and 1-day rule for citizenship still doable? When you say 4-year and 1-day rule of citizenship, what are you talking about? Did you abandon your green card, or did you come out of continuous residence? Because that's when the 4-year 1-day rule applies. So normally, if you are eligible for citizenship at the 5-year general window, the earliest it can apply is 4 year and 9 months. 4-year and 1-day rule applies to people who have been traveling back and forth between another country and the United States. And basically, you're on the cusp of being eligible because of your travel history. So if you've traveled for more than a year, basically you're reactivating, you're restarting your count 4 years and 1 day from the date you entered back in after you've been out for a year. That's the rule to apply. So if that's what you're talking about, that's what it means. What cases are reviewed quickest now by USCIS? And you guys, when you ask these questions, like something has changed. This has always been the process. So I don't know why, it's a bit shocking to a lot of people. Humanitarian-based cases have always taken a long time. You ask about asylum, and you ask about VAWA, and you ask about all of these cases. These cases have always taken a long time in any administration, for that matter. These cases take a long time. And that is why you get work permits while your case is pending. And in some cases, like in a VAWA case, you can get a travel permit. So basically, you get essentially the same benefits as a green card holder while your case is processing, and because they know that it takes a long time. And for the longest time with the U visa and a T visa that take like 2 to 7 years, depending on which one, they didn't even give work permits until you were approved. But now, if you have a bona fide determination, you can get a work permit while you're waiting on your case. And understand that, for instance, a case like U or T, they have caps. Caps means that they only have a certain amount that they can give each year. And once they hit that cap, they're not going to process any cases till the next year. So that's why the cases that take the quickest time are going to be citizenship and adjustment of status based on family. So meaning adjustment of status based on marriage, or adjustment of status based on a son or daughter over 21 filing for a parent, or adjustment of status based on a U.S. citizen only filing for a minor child under 21. Those are always and have always been the cases that will take the quickest. As a matter of fact, right now, we are seeing those cases be processed really, really quickly. Like you file today, you're scheduled for an interview in like 3 months or 4 months or 5 months. So those ones are moving quickly. And then a note about asylum, actually, you guys, I don't talk about asylum because I generally don't take asylum cases. I took one asylum case, and it will be my only one that I would take. But that asylum case was filed, and within 2 months, that case had an interview. Asylum cases are also getting interviews very quickly. They get interviews very quickly. And understand that if you're filing an asylum case, you better make sure that you have a proper asylum claim, and you're not just filing it to get a work permit, because you will be placed in deportation. Okay? Oneg says, best lawyer. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, one more question. How long does USCIS take to respond to RFE after submitting? Every single case is different, so there's no lawyer that can give you a timeline. Every single case is different because now you're at the desk of the officer that's reviewing your case. It can take any amount of time. if let's say you've not heard anything after 6 months, then you can just touch base. Say, you sent your RFE and you're just checking in, but there's no published timeline, for that. Okay, I have time for maybe 2 more. Okay. Denise says, good morning from Lake Mary, Florida. I lived in Lake Mary, Florida for like 11 years of my life. Good morning. I was actually in Orlando this weekend. Okay. How soon can you file for your spouse after marriage? There is no timeline. If you want to file the next day, you can file the next day. The key here is having a good faith marriage and providing supporting evidence. For a lot of newlyweds, they don't have a lot of evidence. They don't have as much evidence as someone who has been married for a long time. So one of the things that you want to consider, well, in the consult, I try to go over some good examples of what you can have even as a newlywed, but also understand that even after you submit your application is active and you can continue to acquire things organically, just the same way that any other married couple will. No married couple has everything together, even if they're not filing for immigration within a week, 2 weeks, or a month of marrying. So as long as you continue to acquire things organically, that's normal. Not like one day you go and you're like opening all those things, you can apply. And when you go to the interview, which will be a couple months later, you should have more stuff to bring with you to the interview. Although right now we're seeing a trend where USCIS sends us an email, maybe like once they've either scheduled you for an interview, they'll send us an email saying, you can log into the client, your USCIS account, and upload any evidence you want us to consider, or whatever the case may be. But if you have like technology challenge or, you've not used the online portal before, you can always bring that with you. But that just helps the officer to review everything before your actual appointment time. All right, guys, I gotta go. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you guys later.